Hello blonde folks, welcome and welcome back. This is Gnomes and today we're gonna make some yes, this is Tuka, an original character, so I'm making this for a game project, right? And Versa FAB, which is the ancient sketch FAB, right? So I want to publish this character, maybe not this but a variation. This I'm already using for another story, but yeah, maybe I can put it in the FAB also. So I have already 3 characters of this group here, this cast. It's the same style, my style, with a bit of variations on the proportions, but it's essentially the same thing. And so this is a cast that is not for the main universe. This I'm using for magic fantasy. And so here, Tuka, I have already the model sheet, as you can see. These actually even had some top view model sheets, and I was experimenting to get a good 3/4 view. I don't remember if I completed this task in the end. Yes, it provided some, let's say, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, here. Do I have a where are these things? Yeah, so 3/4 view. Did it offer anything? We need this. It will be better if I hide this thing. And yeah, I don't need the wireframe thing. I need to select this, go on draw mode. No, draw mode. So slowly struggle trying to understand how this thing works. I got a lot of things here. It'd be nice to have some guide to check here. Let's see. Okay, so there's a front. Here I'm what would be an ideal center, exacting center, and that should be the 3D face on a what would be a 3/4 or 1/2 way, right? 1.5 way on the rotations. This is the what I could achieve through character designing and model sheeting, right? And yes, like never before. So this is very precise result. This was achieved. I've made a highlight about that. This I achieved with technique that, yeah, very regular top view technical drawing technique, right? And so here we go, will be top 3/4 top. It should be here somewhere, some vision from the top. Yeah, now at the top view, there we go. So with this, if you have the same amount of, so you have guidelines and the same proportions here of the grid. Oops, wrong. Let's see. I don't know why they didn't start matching by default, but when I created the area, but it will be something about here. It ended up that maybe some strokes here in this top view were not exactly correct, so so I had to diminish them, like. And in the end, anyways, when the model looks good, I'm gonna going back to the yeah, back and forth. The three, yeah. So maybe here something is not fine. What is not fine here? This sounds that is not correct. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, this is the correct view. All right. Why do I have a double view here? Of course that we have a... Oh, I'm looking at the wrong one. Okay. Head, not this top head sketch. I think this is... No, this is 3/4 head. Ah, these are some guidelines, yes. Some things work, some things didn't work. This was a mistake. Yes, this was the, so this is the correct one indeed. So essentially, why there's this strange variation of color? that I can never get. It's like who knows, right? So this is solid viewport. Yeah, why those strokes appear like? Oh, okay. All this is overlapping. All right, so probably because of that. Yes, yeah. There are some strokes overlapping, and this was rendering things not very visible. No, there is nothing overlapping. And I think it's some wireframe. No. Oh, this I'm looking the wrong view system. No, still not. Alright, so as you see, this is absurdly difficult to understand, but it doesn't matter. So these are set. So first thing I'm gonna do here, because this new mode is driving me crazy, right? Let's join right. So I want to change this lock view here. Viewers, view, navigation, no, align view lock clear. Okay, so now this because the model sheet phase is finished, so I just need to go straight into modeling. So I have this armature here that was remaking. I could even use Rigify here, but maybe not. This is not the face for the skeleton yet, so I'm gonna hide this skeleton anyways, and this one as well. Let's get the model and let's get the grease pencil. Let's hide some. So I'm gonna just get the body, yeah, just the basics here, the simplest ones. One day I will understand what I'm doing wrong here. This is related to it's not about this, right? It's not about the select mode, because this select mode is for edit mode. So when I go on the draw mode, then we have this view with the things are sharp, so they are not smooth, is not good. When I go on object mode still is sharp, but there is a way to get this good. So if I go here on the material preview, it's not about light, so it's something else. I always forget what it is, but scene lights, world, no, it's not this. Oh, I know. Yes, now I remember. Of course, folks, this is overlays. It's the wireframe. The wireframe for grease pencil, that's it. Yeah. Because I use mesh too much, right? I always have this thing on a lot of times, so I just forget that. Alright, this needs a highlight, because this is super. You know how much time I've wasted here. So let's get hide this thing here, and let's get this back. This is driving people crazy, people like me. So let's get here the highlight. First highlight today. So folks, so you see I have a model sheet here, and something very weird is happening, because this is supposed to be smooth, but apparently it's sharp all the time. So it's not something on edit mode, it's not something on draw mode, because I'm here. It's not about wireframe or wire thing. You see I'm uneven here, so it's not anything here that. Okay, let's go and render. So why the ain't I able to get these things look properly? So this, oh, maybe it's some opacity, some light. No, so what is it? So nothing. I couldn't find, oh, wire color. Oh, no, this is just wire color. So theme random. No, okay. So well, so maybe yes, solid viewport shading. No, there's not of the viewport shading. So then finally, actually, oh, maybe it's some option here. No, nothing fixes here. So actually it is this thing, just one single option. It's because as I use do a lot of modeling, then I have always on wave painting, so I always have this thing on, and this thing on is actually geometry wireframe, and I have a shortcut for this: Shift Control Alt Z, and there you see. So this we don't see very well, but you see it's grayish there as the background. But now if I check here, so you see it's the overlays is just that option, and unfortunately this affects the, oh, actually it's this, sorry folks, just learned it was not, it is this option, but it's not related to the wireframe here. It's related to the opacity of the displayed edge. Okay, but this works for, so this, oh, that means that, okay, let's try something here. It means that if we are doing grease pencil and modeling, yeah, maybe if we keep this, well, this will leave at once, yeah. So it's about this, but this will affect also the mesh. So really I don't know what can be improved here, but at least now it's not, yeah, the idea would be just to turn this off totally, so we could have the good, yeah, smooth grease pencil, right? And if we turn on lighting and get something here, then we can get some, yeah, because I don't have any light object. Maybe, let's see, sun, maybe that does something. No, okay, it doesn't do anything anyways, but this is the thing. So this was a hellish thing for me, and a mystery, because I learned and I forgot, I learned and I forgot. Now I think I won't forget. I hope you don't forget too, and that you are able to figure out it is just the geometry wireframe opacity basically that is doing this disastrous thing. And still confusing because there is some interesting effect there, right? To see, I don't understand that, but that's it, folks. Alright, let's stop the suffering now. Let's go back into the modeling thing, but here I will need to be swapping here about this. And yes, let's go for the modeling thing. I'd like to have X-ray, and also doesn't it have a mirror modifier? Yes, we just need this level of mirroring. We are gonna get the clipping, it is already there, and we're gonna clip everything without proportional editing, so things seems to be good here. Merge at by distance, right? Nothing merge, okay. Let's see if there's some in between. Yes, this is smoothing out indeed. but not as much as I would like. So it's not object depending, right? It is global, right? So what I could do perhaps is to try to get the wireframe as specific. No, this is interesting. Okay, viewport. That might be a bit better. Wire. Yeah, but this will paint. Oh, this one may be random by object. Wireframe by object, right? Why I can't enable those things? Because I am EV? Yeah. No, it doesn't make sense. Alright, now my mind is bugged. Why I can't have those things? Oh, X-ray disables this. Alright, I didn't know about that. Bolts are gonna get all those things. Okay, specular lighting is just for the studio. Okay, so we got something here that seems to be favorable or not. So this is very difficult to adjust, right? Very tough. So I can't have the unless I made some modifier here. Why not? Let's see. Yeah, the wireframe doesn't actually. It's kept procedural, right? So no, I'm not gonna use this. It's too weird, right? It will probably interfere with my workflow a lot. So that's just experiment. So let's start modeling this. Let's get some soundtrack also. Why it took so long? Let's see here. All right. And yes, with this rough here, this will not work well. So we'll need this, and then take off the lights and make this, yeah, like this. And this X-ray, let's make it alright. And also the subdivision will turn it off, because finally let's work. Sorry folks, I was warming up and having a terrible experience here. It's hard to get the UI improvements Alright, so this is like very uh, basic stuff, right? So nothing. I'm gonna do low poly, so I don't need to oh yes, actually uh, I don't intend exactly to yeah, to fasten it up. Let's do the following, folks. So I'm gonna append two meshes here because we're gonna compare here. Yes, this will be a good highlight. So folks, I'm going to append some mesh objects here, but actually just the meshes, right? Mesh data, because I have other versions of low poly characters on my style, and one is more low medium low poly, let's say like this, a bit more in direction to medium poly more, and another one is like something like super low poly. It's just a name, but it's not. You'll see. So I'm gonna save here first. Ideally I should be no, but I need to make change to the other files. So first I'm going to get some characters. One of them is here, so it's Dorothy Retro Age Space Agent. Yeah, this one. So what I've done this, I just want the base mesh, the body mesh. So essentially, if we look at this here, period, numpad period, right? So this is like I just want to make sure I have, yeah, so the names is incorrect here. So template Dorothy body, because I'm gonna reuse it, but then this version I find that the shapes are really good, but the topology wasn't that good. So this is the super low poly thing, so that means that we'll see that later. So I'm just gonna change here to data, and then I'm gonna save, and then I'm gonna open another one, which is Aisha, but I have a newer version here, and Aisha here. So I'm gonna get her. I think I already got her. Yeah, so this is the medium low poly which I've made after. Let's see, it is Aisha body, so let's see how this is. It's still an old name, so data. Okay, for now, this for now. So I'm going to save as well. Let's reopen where I was working on, which was characters, Tuka low poly. Okay, this and last version here. And then what I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna append, make sure we get yeah, they can go into this mesh collection, make here and save here, append. Then we got here for the 3D character, then we got here it's Aisha, not collection, not object, it's just mesh and body Aisha data. Yes. Apparently this didn't work the way I was hoping for. Maybe I've appended yeah, mesh active collection, no, not active collection, yeah, go into the active collection, just the selection, instance object date, create instance for which are not no, and localize all. No, we just really want that. No, okay, so very bad. Why this is so difficult? So I have, okay, my highlight is ruined, so alright, let's get back. Gonna reload because Okay, in this collection, let's try then the Dorothy one, right? Mesh template Dorothy. Yeah, this. Let's try all this. Okay, so now it seems that it has worked. Where it is? Oh, there's. Alright, so for some reason this has the wrong scale. No problem, we're gonna. I think it's 10 times more scale transform. So we're gonna bring this to 0.1. And we don't have mirror modifier. Generate mirror, alright. And apply all transforms, right? Let's move her to the side. So this character is like a child or gnome halfling, like D&D stuff. She's more like adult, young adult, and anyways, and but they are, yeah. So also, what happened to the? I don't believe the heads matched exactly with the floor. Okay, so that is adventurous. See, that doesn't happen here, so that means that. But I do like this so that I can calculate the head correctly from the grid. Otherwise, it's super annoying. But then I need to find a solution for that. I'm still looking for a solution. I think one solution, plausible solution, is just to reposition the origin of the character onto, like, create a value, a positioning, a reference for the actual height of the character, and then rechange everything, right? More about the origins and the position of the bot. So I don't know yet, because I need to know how that would work in scene by scene, right? But there's no problem working like that, right? There's no that I know, right? We can. It's just that we need to, when we reposition, then the origin is here, so we can just pose, right? But I'd rather fix this. So this will be like the character, making the character, but for 2D animation, we prefer to have something like that, right? And here you see the head is matched. So this was a coincidence. Maybe it's even incorrect. But okay, so we have one of this here. When I use this as a reference for the base mesh or the body mesh, right? The low poly thing. And then I'm gonna bring also another one which was not collaborating, so I'm gonna try again. Yeah, append. Actually, I think I know what I did. So this is here. The characters, Aisha, mesh. Yeah, there would be no other. And then I'd want all that, right? And it doesn't work. and it doesn't work. And it doesn't work. And it still doesn't work. And still doesn't work. I don't even know what's the concept of instance. Yeah, okay, this is probably correct. This I already tried. Strangely, it appends everything except what I want for it, so... Oh, maybe there is a problem here. This thing might have accumulated something to be purged. Alright, never mind. So let's... This body Aisha data. Yeah, now it's like refusing to append the mesh. It appends all the rest, but not... Okay, I had enough with that, so I need to... Huh, why she's... Oh, she's taller because... Okay, so I need to delete those things. Oops, let's delete the armature. Delete this ghost, it is this one, alright. Alright, so you see they are not too different, because I picked that body shape to shape this one, but the topology is what really is different in these cases. Let's change the object's color random right here, we can have a better idea. Wait, now, yeah, the only way I know is about the topology. Oh no, the shape. This is Dorothy. This is Aisha, yeah. And... Alright, so let's compare here finally. So what I want to do is, okay, this is Dorothy, she goes there. This is gonna also move them here. So there's no subdivision surface modifiers here. Yeah, no subdivision. Clipping. Okay, so this is yeah, it's not even low poly, super low poly. So this is low poly just enough so that I have good shapes, anatomic good shapes for the stylized character. But the face loops are not super cool in some areas. I've made some retakes, but still in the end there would be some things about the face loops that wouldn't be. Or did I retake that? Let's see, 1 2 3 4 5 6. No, I have retake. This is the wrong version, folks. I have an older version. That means that oh no, what I'm talking about. Sorry folks, I was totally confused because they are not in order. They are in order of tallness. I was looking completely wrong. So this is the super low poly. And let's get some subdivision. Or did they lose? No, they didn't lose the mesh data, so Shift E 0.3. okay, that's less effect of the edge creases of the subdivision. Alright, so basically the wireframe is not good, right? We need stronger display of everything, especially overlays, right? Okay, so this is better. So here I have good shapes, just enough geometry to have good shapes, and also good face loops, or at least nice face loops for rigging. And this is actually, it's a fundamental thing. We can rig without with mediocre mesh topology, yes, but it is much easier if we have a better topology. It makes certain things much better, especially regarding joints, but it doesn't save the world, right? It's just one thing that must be taken into account, more or less. Sometimes it's not that important, sometimes it makes a major difference. This other model here doesn't have has low poly here, has just enough geometry density to get good shapes, but not enough geometry in order to achieve all the amount of face loops that would be ideal for rigging. So this is one problem, and so this is why I shifted from this style of mesh topology to of geometry. I've swapped, and before I was even more medium poly guy. I didn't really consider this reduction, right? And with time I've ended up learning that Oh wait, I can reduce a lot more the topology, the geometry densities. Then I ended up reaching here. Oh, good shapes, but what about the face loops, the edge loops? Well, edge rings and face rings, well, not good enough. So I've just added a little more geometry to achieve this result. So this is what I was using until now, because I think this is the most cost efficient regarding rigging, right? We don't need a lot more geometry than that, and if we take off just a little more geometry density, we lose certain possibilities for face loops. Of course, there would be other ways of doing the topology that would allow us to make better edge and face loops, even with lower geometry maybe than what I've made here. Maybe some diagonaling topology, yeah, patterns, maybe that, yes, who knows. So topology can be seen as an art form. Then now the new style that I'm approaching for this more economical, so I really want to dive more into the game idea, right, of economy, and I want to have something more like this than this. So here I'm not really gonna care too much about the face loops, because I'm confident that I will be able to rig those things. So I'm not gonna go very perfectionist on these things, although in some regions it might be annoying, like because one thing of the face loops which is interesting is the how do you call, wave paint, what I call wave paint layering. So if in some areas like the groin, the pubis, and some complex joint regions, right, like the pelvis, thigh, the hip thigh, the shoulders, all these things, if we don't have enough wave paint layering, and that layering is the starting point for that layering for wave paint is the topology, is the geometry. So if the geometry is not following the pattern of the wave painting, then we will lose. So this will be what it will make this more low poly than this, perhaps much harder. So this will be like true low poly, or not as low poly as Minecraft, like not just something between Minecraft and maybe this, right? So not hyper low poly, so it'll be that is what I'm calling super low poly, but the name it can be confusing, so I would call like form, shape, anatomic low poly, maybe, yeah, anatomic low poly. And this is like anatomic loop low poly, yeah. So loop low poly, no, anatomic loop low poly, and this is anatomic low poly, yeah. And this is, I don't know, this is this might be ended up this low poly, and super low poly is like the Minecraft thing. So here I'll be using this as references for the topology that I have here. So I already experienced that there are some super low polys that are very cool. We can try here actually. That, yeah, so I'll have some problem here, so I'm gonna have to move this out of the way, or actually not, I can just be using, let's make the grease pencil stuff unselectable. These two I'm gonna make them like this, and let's isolate here, right? And I'll need to take off this, and where is the grease pencil, because Oh yeah, I cannot isolate the grease pencil. Yeah, and now great, because what will happen if I isolate, then I... Okay, so that's it. So maybe you'll need to have the grease pencil like that. Okay, this rendered will help. We're gonna isolate here. So first I want to make some good shapes, even though... So we're gonna go very artistically here in the PS2 poly. Welcome, Dumuzi. How you doing, bro? Sorry, I wasn't... No, just 2 minutes ago. Okay. You arrived. PlayStation 2 poly. Which one of them? The one that I'm gonna do, or the shapes low poly, shapes poly, or the shapes loop poly? I think this I'm gonna do PS2 poly, right? It's a nice name, yeah, because this will be... I'm not sure because I don't have too much experience playing those PS2, but I admire very much that aesthetics. Really beautiful stuff. So yeah, I'm gonna go in this direction, more in this direction, I guess. Correct me if I'm wrong. The highest one. Oh, the highest one. You mean that... Okay, she had some materials there. You mean that this is PS2 low poly? I didn't know. Interesting. So okay, let's go back. So yeah, but I want to do something more economical. So despite I'll be using subdivision, but not too much. Maybe, yeah, I'm not even sure I'm gonna use this, so I leave it off. And also probably here I don't want this stuff, so I'm gonna just zero this out. So we're gonna go artistic in this low poly thing, and we'll see how much I can liberate of the how much economic I can be about those shapes, right? So why do I have this, right? And so this means that I'm going to allow triangles here and there, right? This is horrible, right? Let's fix this with some proportional... Where is the wheel? Okay, so some strange thing about the gizmo of this. Yeah, I have no idea. This is annoying, right? Because without the wheel, it's very hard to... Okay, let's ignore that. Let's continue. Oh, maybe it's the wheel disappears with... Oh, the wheel appears in the... Yeah, I see the chat. The wheel appears with the... The wheel was snapped into the cursor, 3D cursor, strangely. Okay, let's check again the chat. Hold on. Yeah, PlayStation 1 maxed out around the 1000 versus for a character. I mean, it is possible to go higher, but the frame rate would drop, I understand. So let's see how many vertices do I have. That is not a good idea. Vertices 2000 to 500. Yeah, so yeah, so we're gonna get something really low here. Like, they are, it's interesting, right? They are halfway, right? This is about 2000, this is 1000, and this will be, so maybe here we reach maximum of what is those nodes? Let's get here like 75 vertices. So this will gonna call PS2 poly. So this is like, or actually, yeah, I can call it anatomic loop poly. Or so this is like about, yeah, about 2000 vertices is about, yeah, poly count. Anatomic poly, low poly, yeah, atomic low poly, and this would be well, stylized, what I call super low poly, yeah. And this I don't know. This will be like less anatomic shape. So goal (3D) well, if it's low poly, it's 3D already. Model go up to, yeah, maximum 75 vertices. Correct. Okay, we did that. To-do list done. Correct body side view, make hair costume side view, then make head top view, rotate up top. Yeah, we didn't do the bottom note, bottom, no. For isolating head features, chin tip, then okay, let's get, I know some people can go in too 556 and the model and upgrade. Wow, that's a, yeah, I've seen some very cool, like the arms and legs, they are square, but they are tilted 90 degrees, right, on the bones y-axis, so it's like not, it's sort of angular, right? It's an art form, right? There's an entire challenge called, wow, I love that. Yeah, so, but unfortunately it's like an aesthetic artistic battle, right? Because it's very tough to, especially the problem that I have is that I wonder if my style can work with, personally, if it weren't for the rigging problems of the face loops, I would stick with less geometry. But after I figure out how much that impacts the also retaking the mesh, it's just, it's better to have sometimes a little more, right? But stylistically, if I were able to achieve better shapes without all that amount of, I would do, right? So this is why I'm doing this also. I believe I can achieve the my style to an interesting degree of variation, right, with stylized thing, and of course the textures will play an important role. I'm not sure about the facial rig if I do 2D texture for facial, but you see here I can really simplify a lot of stuff. And so here we'll use and abuse of trigons and some other possibilities, right? Because since we cannot explore too much the face loops, we can still then compensate with strategic inputs, right? So here I'll have to investigate a lot of things, right? But for now, here is where side view will become relevant, the 3/4 view, right? Very likely I will have to, so this is challenging myself to have these things organized, disposed in a way that makes sense, right? We do, so it's a sort of minimalism, and I like the challenge, especially now that I'm trying to be more economic to raise my production. Here for instance, maybe we don't need this, right? So this is a gigantic face here. Let's V merge at last. Let's get some materials here. So we're gonna get 1, 2, 3, maybe. There's a lot of material now. I want to create new stuff, so for instance we're gonna get viewport display. I'm gonna get something red, then we're gonna get this one will be okay. Get this, don't forget this. Let's get here, and this we're gonna get also. So this is matte red, matte blue, matte green, yeah, and of course let's get some we don't need this one. Maybe one for the neck or closer to the, yeah, or maybe not even that. Probably, yeah, if I displace this, then maybe just here, right? J, then here we dissolve vertices, no, not, yeah, delete face, separate this, this can go there, this now can go yeah. So a good idea here is to start working from maximum to minimum. So the low, I'll just start to reduce everything that I can, right? Probably I'll need one face loop here for this part so that I'll be puffier here, and then we'll see what we do with the rest. Here the topology doesn't really, yeah, it matters, but how am I gonna get this thing? This shape will be interesting here. This face, I'm gonna try to this going like here on the side of the face, why not? And what this, yeah, this is a face loop here, so this would be red. No, I want the blue, right? And so here what we can do about this one, can we make sense? This thing probably doesn't, well, it makes sense because I want these lines. Sorry, let's see. I know some very for texture for facial movement is interesting for low poly. Yes. The problem of texture, how does this texture rigs work outside of Blender? Because this is something I'm unaware of. So I have a difficulty in thinking facial rig for exporting projects because I've never done it, right? So it's like I'm not sure what could work exactly, because in Blender when I rig face I go on deep in the organic realm, right? What you can do for Blender, and so this is a problem, right? Yeah, so I think here, although this will sort of disrupt some, let's try this. Disrupt some of my planning, right? Maybe this trigon here would be a good idea. So I have this spiky thing here, which makes sense. This for the nose, I'm not sure, but yeah, so it is likely I would need another one or not, because it depends on what I do here. Yeah, so this part of the eye is super critical, to get good. So can start with a square or just a maybe this is okay. Yeah, unsure here for the in thesis. Yes, it does work. You need to have some sort kind of script to run the UV movements. Ah, I see, sort of a UV warp modifier, something like that, but on a game engine, for instance. Yeah, so that's interesting. Thanks for mentioning. So here maybe some inset. This is for now, and probably delete these faces. Probably I'll need something more faces here. Not sure if I do the eye with, anyways there would be need some rigging of the, I want to do some rigging that is could use the texture, maybe the mouth. There's, I'm still thinking. I just want the shape, some basic shape. I don't want totally flat. That means that I could have some coordination, but that, yeah, maybe if I just went full texture that would be better, right? So this might be overdoing, but let's keep it this for now. And for some reason I'm not being able to get the proper X-ray thing. Oh, now I have, okay. If the texture has the same sizing for each quadrant, you can move up the UV by oh yes, that technique. Yes, that makes the automation easier, right? I never did that technique, but I've seen very many tutorials for, in the case of Blender, that indicates how they achieve this kind of facial rig. So the there is something crazy I can try to do here too, which will be the a bone version of the universal sonic mouth rig, but that will go too long in experimenting, right? So I haven't figured out what I really want, but one thing that I can already get anyways is the well, let's continue about then. This is looking very bad yet still, so here we need to address the character design. Yeah, so yeah, it's likely the face. For the face I'll be requiring a little more geometry anyways, so it isn't surprising that it is difficult. And so because I've decided to go for the face now, maybe it was a bad idea. I should focus on something easier. But this is an opportunity to check how we can use the 3/4 view here. Let's try that. 1, 2, 3, 4. And here we got okay, of course I'll need to need to augment the X-ray. But then yeah, they fade altogether. Yeah, this is bad because then okay, I'm editing this one, so it won't help. I need to report this, that they did something that is very inconsistent for, and this is for canvas. Yeah, so they created, let's try to dive into this. Alright folks, so here there's some big problem on using grease pencil for model sheet in Blender for character design, because there is always a problem. At least I haven't found any good solution. Ideal, right? Because there is an inconsistency regarding the fading of the grease pencil material and the fading of the mesh that we are, for example, editing. So like first thing is that the overlays is a problem, because if I have this wireframe that I want to check my geometry, then it instantly affects the inactive grease pencil object that will become wireframe as well. And as it becomes wireframe, it is not smooth anymore, and this is the, and then it doesn't matter the viewport shading. Okay, so then we cannot have the wireframe, so this is one problem. However, let's say that we enable the wireframe. Oops, sorry folks. If I enable the wireframe, okay, then we have, oh maybe, but then it's the opacity. Okay, that is good, but it again, it affects both of them. So if it's not of all the objects, the mesh object and the grease pencil object, so I cannot have the one smooth and revealing the other at the same time, revealing the grease pencil, smooth grease pencil, and X-rayed. You see this more X-ray, more wireframe of the grease pencil, which is bad. I want a smooth aspect. So this in between here, it's not really good, right? Because here I don't have transparency enough. Then if you want to look for X-ray, well, we can, but again, it's the same idea, right? It's doing this. So the problem is that they go in sync, and we cannot display. So all the options here for grease pencil, if you select the grease pencil, I test, nothing here helps, because it's all about inactive objects. Fade, yeah, but I want to fade the active object that I'm working in, right? So then maybe if we highlight maybe more the grease pencil material, but then we lose the still there, it's not X-rayed. So it's like a lot of things, a lot of options that don't do what the artist really needs if the artist is trying to model with a mesh or maybe sculpt, but with transparency, and want to be looking at the grease pencil which is behind, and it's also an object. So you need to sort, there should be some way to allow the mesh to yeah, so if I do wireframe, but then I don't really see, right, then right, so it's bad, right? So that is many things we have, right? I would like to use many options, but as we start to use them, it ruins the right, in consequence, the other material. So this is stuff that maybe need a new option to separate those things, right? To allow more visualization, to allow us in the viewport to see the grease pencil straight away, right? Not with any restraint, or I need to make a modifier to be, no, right ahead, right away. You need to be able to have a good looking of the grease pencil, and at the same time being able to have the mesh with the settings that you want for visualization of the mesh, for mesh editing, modeling, sculpting, whatever, with transparency. So all together, so this is like super difficult, right? And I think this needs a revision and a new setting here. Maybe just a proposition, maybe we got something here like fade the mesh, I don't know, fade everything except the grease pencil. So then we could, even if I'm not using the wireframe, yeah, or maybe wireframe but not the grease pencil, something like that, right? So could be, that would be more radical, but that would also help. All right, let's stop this. All right, so in the end I cannot have what I need, so yeah, so I have to deal with this. I hate people that when you comment about something critical, they go and say, oh no, there's no problem. They don't say that, no, there's not, this is not a problem. They don't say like that. They just say, oh, you can do this or that. And sometimes it's relevant, but the person is not really understanding the restraints often. If the person goes like that, right? And first to stop and understand really what's going on, what is the problem, why the artists have been a problem, then you can say that because usually those solutions won't solve, they'll create other problems. They won't do exactly, right? It's like there's always the question of the, okay, so I need to get the 3D 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, there's something good also. I have to make, yes, we need, this will be required. I need to push these shapes here from a top view, yeah. So I need this thing, and now this is also, yeah, I'll be needing to use some more things here. So here gonna, yeah, 7, numpad 7, numpad 6, 1, 2, 3, 4. Or is that, yeah, it is this direction. Then here we 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's go and get the grease pencil again and look for the top 3/4 view, right? Apparently this is not working. Alright, now it is no, hold on, what is wrong with this model? No, the model is not rotated, of course. So probably did something. Yeah, it is this 3/4 is not this one. Sorry, this is a mistake. This is not for. Is the 3/4 was for mapping the guides from the top here, like technical drawing. So it's not. But I've made this based on a simple top view. Simple top view, but it's not that simple. Not this top front, and that is matching. Okay, so this one is the reference that I need in order to start to model like these shapes here. And as I have this thing, okay, and for some reason I'm getting wrong vertices or not. And here of course would be better if we could just isolate the head. Shift H, there we go. Ah, now it's better. And because edit mode, yes, so let's assign vertex group for mod mask body head. Yeah, then we got here mask head invert and maximum, no, 0, no, need the I didn't assign. There we go, invert. No need to invert. Why I don't need to invert? Okay, doesn't matter. Okay, so here is the shapes, right? There indicates that the forehead here, this thing should be much more protruded. Should be about here. Yeah, I see the curvature. Then the lower face there, or this muzzle part, should also be protruding even more. Yes, that's it. So that suggests that just a top view is sufficient for fixing this character design thing. That's a good insight. Yes, the top view, very important for this kind of cartoon drawing. And here we got is the yes, it is really at the top. Okay, this is accurate. Very nice, right? The eyes, of course, are bad. Let's see now. No, what I'm doing here. We got this face here, and I need to try to match. Yeah, so I'm not gonna touch this one, so I need to. Okay. Probably need to make some division here. This I'll try to join here. Let's make some sharp edges here so that we know that these are the markers, right? Actually, mark sharp is complicated. Mark seam would be better. Don't affect anything until the textures. Yeah, it will be complicated. So clear seam. Let's just then make some mark freestyle edge. That's good. All right. Then here, oh, this is here, right? This shift H. All right. Well, that deserves a highlight, right? Quick highlight, right? Alright folks, you're trying to do a 3D cartoon model sheet, or actually modeling or sculpting. So here, very complicated thing for certain character designs, at least in my experience, is that sometimes we have hard time to figure out the shape of the muzzle. So then top view, don't forget to make also a complementary bottom view to try to track the chin from the bottom view for a vision on the top view. But here I didn't need that. So you see I have this top view here. It's very hard to draw, right, in an accurate way for stylized characters. But if we can achieve, see, this is an old sketch, this is the actual sketch, and see there's some transparency. This is the actually circle of the head, but the skull actually protrudes a little back to the back, right? So maybe I exaggerated here a little. And then the muzzle on this character, lower face, the cheek bone and whatever, there's this curvature here which is slightly beyond the if you check the model sheet here, slightly beyond, ahead of the forehead line, which is the line that is right behind it, but it's on top, right, which follows more closely the curvature of the construction circle, which is the same circle that I use for the front and side and back view, right? Is the same construction. So what I do is that I made this circle exactly occupying 4 big squares there, right? But maybe yes, but then I start to deconstruct it. And so here, of course, this is we are in a not the correct view. So with the top view we can also make we can also help to make a 3/4 face. You see the orientation that I drew that one, but if we make a top view first, because then we can just rotate it and to draw a, so we get from here, sorry, I know it's a bit confusing, but the topic here is the actual details of the face. So top 3/4. So we got actually this top 3/4 from here. Is it's inclined, we can hide the top front, and so this, if we match, yeah, if we match here with a front 1, then a numpad 1, right, then numpad 6 to rotate, numpad 6 and numpad 6. There are 7 steps, so the front view is the first, second, third, fourth step, and this is exactly the center here, the 45 degrees, positive or negative. So, and then 5th, 7th, 6th, 7th. So here is exactly the side view. It just doesn't show the grid, but it's the side view. So 7, 6, 5, 4. So this is the 3/4 view. So this is where I can draw that. So if you can match, you can have some guidelines. If you can match this top view with this grid here, then we can just this was drawn from the original front view, just duplicated and rotated the mesh, right, because it's top view, it doesn't matter. Very orthographic, right? So don't need to redraw, just, and it was just rotated vertices, right, from edit mode. But don't ask me how to do that here. I've showed it in another ways, and other guys would explain how to do this in Grease Pencil. Then if you do it in Grease Pencil, you can also just do it on paper, scan, and whatever. So here then we can have the some guides. Oops, this is super confusing. Some guides that can help. Here, for example, but here it wasn't, I'm not super lucky here with those guides, because I had made some little mistakes here and they made the thing. But this will be the correct 3/4 view face, provided we don't cheat on the character design with shape keys, camera morphs, you know, that Bell animation, Japanese long feature film animation, which corrects the face according to the relation of the face of the 3D model character with the angle of the camera. But here I'm not trying to do this. Here I'm really trying to get as accurate model shape from all the positions. Okay, then once we have this, then there is of course a lot of other problems, but anyway, so we have the I was looking at the front top view. We can hide this stuff, we can hide everything here and go back here from this front view, and yeah, so I think I've lost myself, so I'll delete this, not satisfied. I mixed up with another explanation. I got excited about the possibilities. Just close that, so not accept this highlight too completely overly. Maybe I just cut for the beginning, which was still good, and now I'm bugged. Why my mind is bugged? Why don't I see this properly? It's not opacity, it's probably this, right? Yeah, it's because of this. No? Yeah, so it's still. So here I'm lost again. Oh, it was the material, right? Can't we have a good texture maybe? Color attribute. Oh yes, yes. Okay. That won't solve the other problem, but this will improve the alright, let's get the mesh again. Slightly improves, right, the effects, but no. As soon as we go X-ray, Here I probably want cut this, but what about this face, right? Yeah, this is the typical geometry that we have here, right? I don't want to make a trigon here, right? So nor do I want to make another face loop here, although that could be a good idea. Okay, so the upper chin here. Yeah, so here need to carve the eye way more back, and this is a problem because this is a correct position, right? These vertices, I shouldn't be moving them, but so it's, oh, maybe, okay, so let's maybe I can't escape this. Let's cut subdivide this face here. Yeah, so it looks like that this will be required. Subdivide J. We need to face loop this properly, so there's need to be carving this eye shape here, right? The eye here is much more inside. Here, yeah, this one, it's not the end of the world. After we verify if we really need this, is the face, right? The face is hard. This is interesting one because I can use this to get the cheeks up here and have a nice curvature here, like puffy cheeks, but already from the character design. So this, provided I move up and down, it's not a problem. So here for the lower muzzle, this we could leave like that, but it would work, especially if I consider a subdivision, right? Not this one, but with edge crease. So yeah, probably it would be nice to have some so let's make some subdivisions here, and then here maybe yeah, so here I'm not sure how we end. I like this trigon in the end. It sort of makes sense, right? And maybe we can finish this way. J. So there are some and so to improve this, we just move this like here. And this is nice shapes. Here though I'll have a problem because I need to see, oh yeah, this is probably here I have a problem with the character design. Yeah, maybe this this is not the edgy part. Right, so here is where I probably need to continue doing this. Another subdivision. here we're gonna do this J. I need to push all this mesh here. J here can delete, but this is not good. We need to split just like this one, right? So this trigon is probably not good. From the front view GG. Then okay, the 3/4 view we need, let's see, mesh, normals, reset vectors just in case. No, not because smooth shading maybe. No, we'll address that later. And so this, okay, then we need the place for the ears, of course. So for the ears, how can I make the ears super simplified? So yeah, first of all we need a hole, so you can consider a triangle, which is the simplest, worst idea, but it could work, because then I can J this, and can also use this to loop cut here. Here can have another trigon here, yeah. So this creates this face loop, so you get this thing here that creates this corner here, which makes sense, and this starts to solve one big problem here. Although the ear is a good location to collapse a lot of geometry. And I don't know why this, oh, this is not masking, of course, it's because of the mask. Alright, so I'm gonna remake the vertex groups. So here, let's continue. Here we got now the, I can make an eyeball, right? That will be a nice idea. Very simple, and already we can help to fix a geometry. Mesh, cube, scale down. We can use here some sort of generate subdivision surface. This is good enough, right? To start with, apply, bring this, the whole object, My new approach to eyes now, of these stylized eyes, is apply all transforms, is just trying to deform the eye, right, as a ball like that, right? Then we can do whatever we want here. It's just doesn't, it's because the cartoon eye is less symmetric, so we can, yeah, we can try to maintain certain regularity, but it's not required exactly. What we need to focus on the proper shapes, and in this sense the shape of the eye, right? So that means that if we need to do and it becomes really about matching, it will be smoothed out, right? Scale, it will take all sort of change like this, and so until we match the proper requirement of the curvature. And so the back of the eye becomes really unimportant. It's just so that it doesn't end like abruptly. So it's good to here would be better not to have the mirror modifier, and also have this into a different object. I don't know. Let's give this thing a different material. Okay, I was, if it doesn't help. Okay, so it's using a material of something else, of a skin. I don't know where this came from, so well, fortunately this is okay, never mind, I won't bother with that. So let's try to find another one. No, it's all the same thing, so okay, let's use this then. Yeah, and then we can just smooth, right, and keep smoothing until we get some cool shape. And this thing can have a mirror modifier, right? We can target the head, the character, right, as the center of symmetry. You can apply the transforms. The problem is that I have a hard time visualizing the yeah, so it is too elongated, right? It needs to be so, but you see I have some features here of interest in the character design. This is referring to the lid creases, top lid crease and bottom lid crease. We don't see very well, but I forgot again. Why do I have here? So apparently the eyeball will be something like that. Not like that, actually, is that the eyeball touches the skin from behind on this curvature. about that. Yeah, about that. So will be, yeah, so let's try wireframe for this. Yeah, so you can try something like that. Here it's because the eye can deform ideally, right? Stretch and of the expression of the face, so it's good to have some backup, right? I mean, the eye can still need some extrapolation, slight extrapolation, right? So that if the eye widens up in the up and down, like the eyelids open too much, then there's still eyes, right? The eye surface doesn't stop abruptly, right? Like something like this. No, it still there's space for the eyelid to go up, and the eye hole, the mesh of the orbicularis oculi muscles around the eye hole, then they also deform, and then the character can have make more exaggerated expressions, and there will still be eyeball will still be there. Alright, and so for the back part, it's, yeah, so it's important that we have this extrapolation also for the sides, right? So we need to make sure there is enough eyes there. It was advantageous for me that this part of the eye was masked. Here we can, why not, we can make this thing more natural. This is not a clipping, they are just a symmetric. There's no problem here of clipping. Well, actually there could be some, no, there's no problem with clipping indeed. Because this is, yeah, so just a problem if the eyes go above the skin. Yeah, that will be annoying. So here this is very, very difficult to get. There's no perfection here, right? It's just an approximation, right, of what could be good enough. And here we can smooth a little to get maybe scale on the z-axis a little. Maybe this, yeah, I'm having some trouble here, so maybe push this or just instead try to push this skin forward a little. Yeah, and this could be solved with some shrink wrapping features later. Yeah, so here we start to get good. So I'm gonna rename this Tuka mesh eyeball. Yeah, eyeballs, because they are two. For now they can be symmetric, like mirrored like that. So this will be parent to the armature, but we don't have, so this will be mesh body. And yeah, actually forgot something. One body, one eyeball. Running, welcome running to the stream. So I'm modeling the 3D cartoon character here from scratch, and with some model sheet Probably here we can get this. Yeah, can get this, right? Let's fix the masking thing, so take this assign actually. Yeah, this is the place for the ears. Let's extrude. I'm not sure how I'm gonna handle that. Take off proportional editing. Let's start with, yeah, subdivide here and another subdivision, then just pick this, merge at center. Then I'll see if I'll need any other so from the, yeah, it looks like that this can be much more to the bottom. And let's see from the side. Okay, it's like this can be the sort of the bottom part, yeah. And from the side view, I need to see the why can't I see transparency here? Ah, it's because of this viewport. Alright. No, this is unstandable. They are inherited, right? So okay, now I see. Oh yeah. What you can do here is maybe hide this for a moment. Connected only. Expand this here, alright. Yeah, this could get below here. Let's move this a little to the front, this a little more here. Let's see from the 3/4 view. Hold on, folks. Be right back. Alright, already back. The 3/4 view, yeah, why? I'm don't work on that already. Because one, two, three, four. This is the middle 3/4 view. Let's see. But then I need to. Let's turn off this. No, actually, this is actually good. And we need also the mirror here. There is something of interest here. Apparently. Oh, this needs to move up. Alright. Let's try this. Now some more to the side. This one. Okay, it can move down a little. This can. Okay, now we got a problem. One, two, three, four. I think it's this one. No, it's not this one. It's also not this. Oh, this one is too high. Alright. Okay, so I'm apparently lacking some geometry here. I see where I'm pulling this mesh. Okay, this is wrong. Here we could top view, grease pencil, stroke, top front view. So this is the tip. I'll exaggerate this a little more. Ah, there's this problem of this triangle here. I see. Well, this makes sense because this is the chin. I don't have the line for the chin, and that could be. Yeah, so this could probably go more like here. These lines is super important, so let's see from the front view. see that we have this topological problem here. This is the tip, right? So this is where I don't know what to do with this. Because of how this topology here is working on low poly, it should be simpler, right? Just a spike thing, so it's like, let's try to J this. GX. The ear here is not badly positioned. Oh yes, there's the eyeball in relation to the eyeball in relation to the big mistake here. Here is 2. Can do something like that. Yes, can change this. Oh, we have a... No, it's a diamond quad. 1, 2, 3, 4, yes. Not an n-gon. And if it were an n-gon, this would not be a terrible case. Let's make also another for the chin line here, the jawline. I'm using this freestyle edge mark because it doesn't interfere with anything else, and I'm not using this feature. Yeah, there's not a too bad of an idea. Except that, yeah, it creates a lot of trouble. So probably I need to get this loop here. Yeah, the this one would be like mark freestyle. Okay. So I need something here, and yeah, I need this thing, but then I need to restructure these things in some way. Possibly another loop here. Or yeah, this thing is causing some trouble here. Like, yeah, we need this kind of stuff here. So the question is, yeah, this will carve this thing. That's no, not good. Yeah, this will connect the topology, right? And then finally we have to solve this one. Yeah, that helps. Alright. Now I got this face loops, and the madness is just about there, right? And here we got some problem with this geometry here. Yeah, I'm sure something of interest can be made here. Looks like this back part needs a bit more smoothing, right? This part is more flexible. Yeah, probably here I think I'll need to expand. Oh yeah, I see the time. I've expanded a bit too much here my workflow, but this is very good in the sense that at least the head, which is the most difficult thing, is sort of yeah, it's looking good, but need more investigation on all the fronts. Oh yes, the jawline is bad regarding the let's use proportional editing here. Let's improve this. Let's see from the front view, this needs to be let's check now. Oh, now it's better. Yeah, and so there'll be different interpretations here. So the jawline actually could be possibly I could also help by pushing this a little back. That might help. The cheekbone, right? So pushing them on the y-axis, so they won't. I won't mess too much the front view here. This line, and here we could. The top view is super important here. Select, Shift H. Yeah, so yeah, so I've pushed this back on purpose. What is happening here? This is the chin. Wait, this is a strange. Should have a curvature like this. Yeah, something like that. Alright, so even though this might not look very nice here for the time being, here we don't have the best outlook for the face loops, right? Let's unmask and try to make some. Okay, so let's reset here, just give myself 30 minutes extra work for today. It's already late, but I think I can do a little more fundamental progress here. Let's basically it's the idea of the shapes, right? And some topological issues here. this is achieved because of the an experimental use of the skin modifier, but in the end it doesn't really compensate for creating the base mesh, not for me, not the way that I tried at least. So here we're gonna make some holes. Yeah, the hand usually is super difficult. And I haven't decided how I'm gonna fix that topology, so just for now, this low poly thing, right? Just connect here the fingers. I can start with something like that, and then later I start making it more complicated if required. So might be a good start. Yeah, maybe this is a mistake. Maybe we can address this differently. Collapsing mesh. Usually you want a loop here. Okay, where is the operation? Where is the gizmo? Yeah, I just decided to disappear. Blender is tired. Okay, then we smooth, shade, smooth. Now this. Oh, I'm playing, of course. I was playing. That's why it was so sluggerish. I was playing the animation. This is too weird, right? How to handle this? Okay, and where is the So I made a oh, this is the wrong finger. I did the yeah, so these proportions of this phalanx I should be fixing one by one later, but that's super annoying. I want them to have the regular proportions, like one phalanx in relation to, so the larger, the middle, the smaller, and this in both sense of thickness and everything. So length and thickness and positioning, it's time consuming, but it's not difficult. So I just want to make sure they are all matching the correct Okay, a little better now. Yeah, so I've addressed the most brutal things, most radical thing, hands and I had even a low poly hand to look good anatomically. It can be, especially without already an ideal structure for the geometry, because this is not retopology, and also without other references for the workflow. I'll still work on the topology for the knuckles, but I'll try to keep it simple. If it deforms well with little effort from the skinning, because I have some techniques that can help in that domain, so then there's no need to really I can make this simplification indeed. It's like a cool hand, but super simple. So yeah, so I think for here that is not a bad idea to have this loop here. And this for the joints, I'm gonna use the special technique of the low poly collapsing. I test on a more high poly rig and it works very well, so that suggests that this is really one of those powerful tricks that work anyhow. But it's for joints that which are only in one direction, bend in essentially one direction for the most part. What happened here? Not a good thing. Yeah, the pelvis with the legs will be a larger problem. So I'm just gonna fix this joint here because it's simpler to set this geometry, this topology. There we go. The feet will need some more developments. We are still, wow, this very low 200, we still have a lot of things to address, right? So I'm in a big advantage here of if I wanted to have more vertices here and there, more geometry. I wasn't expecting this. I was let's align this. Yes, a little problem out here. I don't know how. I'll need to check her boots that she uses from the character design. This face loop will be relevant. I think another one here. This I'm unsure, but let's already do this so that we can oops, not this. Yeah, so here I'm unsure if this is a great idea. But okay, for now this seems okay. Then we got this. So the valve is a big problem with low poly because many reasons, but one of the reasons of course is there's just not Alt S. As it reaches for the torso, there is little geometry for, so I need some splitting here, which is super weird. And last time, to prevent this, I had to make another subdivision instead of 4. I'll see if there's any way around this, but it will be, maybe I need to check some other models to have better inspiration and refreshing of these ideas. the shoulder is also special. So I need some sort of color rig structure here, something that will loop around the torso would be nice. Of course it could be. Okay, this is not bad. To start with, we can have this, then we have the shoulder structure, right? It could be, no, not an inset like that. Yeah, it's like okay, you can try this sort of looping now above the torso. Time's up. Yeah, so it's not be a perfect face loop, but it gets this structure, and that is nice because it should provide some cutting, some shortcut for the mesh to reach points of interest. But for rigging this might cause a lot of trouble. I think it's riggable in the end. When it comes to low poly like that, or less complicated, everything can be abstract in in other ways that we don't have access with a higher poly mesh. That means that we can deal with the forms and the shape keys. It's actually, there are some advantages on the low poly thing, like this. No, just okay, that's a much better actually. Happened unexpectedly. Okay, as for the buttocks is very hard, so I think it's the last thing. I'm just gonna try to fix this part. That here is something that probably I'll need just a little more geometry. I'll try to respect some strategy here of I'll try to respect some strategy of for advanced pelvis rigging, which means that I'm going to create some specialized geometry here. For the pelvis J, merge at center and merge at center. What does that mean? Is that this is a special loop which allows the wave paint layering to some little extent in the case of the low poly mesh, the low little verse, but we can augment this by just adding some more geometry. But then this will provide that the leg actually goes up here for more radical motion. Here I'm not sure, but yeah, so the leg is still here for lateral motion, but most important is for this thing. Of course the buttocks is another big issue, but it has the same logic also applies. So you just need to also have a grease pencil for the back, but I'm gonna address that later. So for now, let's just try to shape very basically this part. And so this I'm gonna already give this and here we could say that, yeah, to simplify we could say that, but so this needs to sort of follow the anatomy in some way without having this will be problem, so maybe you have to do this, I'm not sure. And the problem I had then was this giga face here, and so here the spine could be nice to have some thing like that. Yeah, let's just sacrifice this one. Face loop for here. GG. Yeah, so here at this part, it's the crotch, it's really complicated with this geometry. So it's like where I'm not sure what to do. If we make triangles here, that could go very bad. So it's like there's maybe some sort of like in this way we can make some sort of like two subdivisions, right? Like here without causing problems to the joint here. Yeah. So yeah, this sort of helps, but it can cause some other issues, but in principle that is manageable. but it's yeah, the proportionals need to be flatten. So I've just augmented the geometry, but without touching this and this face. Yeah, so I didn't have to cut the loop here and make some triangle or crazy mesh here. So this can be a good approach, and this still loops around the whole thing. And now then they have this problem here. These are still giga faces, but at this point maybe they are a bit more controllable. Yeah, here see, this is probably very bad. So here I probably need to make something about, so maybe the same process. So this will be still some joint. Never tried this before. Like, it's a way to symmetrically, in this case, to add. Yeah, I'm not adding anything, I'm just creating these ones so that we have this some more shapes here in this gigantic face of, but they are not very organized, so probably we need to let's try something simple. So I have this middle face here, which I could use to create some angular torso that maybe ends up here. So who knows, maybe I can use this to create some, to help create some cavity, I don't know. But this has a cool advantage now, it allows me to create this some roundness here. Yeah. Here under the armpit is unclear what I can do, but now this is super interesting. And since I have also made this one, what is this? Yeah, this also, I think this is not a problem. Let's make this whole face loop up to here. Why not? I'm sacrificing this loop here many times. Yeah, it makes sense. Here is a little problem, right? Probably would require something here. And yeah, for the breast I would probably this is going exactly yeah, so here I'm unsure what to do with those, with the thoracic cage. I don't know why this... Oh, I understand. It's because this should be... Usually what I do is that I create... Okay, so I need to create a hole in the geometry here. Yes. So it will be here and... merge at center and... more holes can be... Yeah, so then we can play with this. If this geometry is sufficient, I'm not sure. Alt S, no, GG is also yeah, mesh, normals, reset vectors. Yeah, that sort of solves. Then shade smooth, yes. And here the, yeah, I don't have reference here to improve this, so well, I have the front. Yeah, the shapes are not let's use proportional editing here. Maybe this helps. Yeah, so here in this low poly version there is little this should be enough. This geometry should be enough. But we could make some loop here to be more interesting, or maybe 5. I don't see this is doing well going directly there. But here we could improve a little more the shapes, and here we get another. Okay, this area is super important, but in low poly, let's see my count. Whoa, we are, that was a lot, right? We are nearly reaching. I don't know how I jumped so much. Yeah, probably on the torso thing. So here I think I just tried to reach a... Let's make this blue, and although it's not ideal, I think it will be nice to... Yeah, there is an idea here. Maybe we can... I was experimenting with this some time before. This doesn't sound a good idea, right? There's a triangle here and there is no triangle here. Yeah, it's one of those problems, right? It will be easier if I have this face loop here and this is confusing. I think I'm tired already. Let's get the it's about this face, right? That here, this is 1, 2, 3, and they are, yeah, 1, 2, 3. They are equivalent, right? But then from the back, this goes down. Oh, there's a continuation here. There we go. Yeah, so this continues, right, which is and what do we do here? So there's this triangle. This is not anymore what I want. Can just dissolve this, merge at last. There we go. So now we can approximate this, although it could be slightly incorrect. It's instead we pull this up, still go inwards this, and so here is where I can do this and then maybe just connect here. So this is uncertain if that will work, but yeah. Or I could try to do something crazy here, but then there's like little on a low poly there. I don't see, just if I want to improve the armpit thing like here, but then there is just no way to get rid of this. Let's leave it like this. And here I've lost the I can try to approximate this, so we have can do something like this, yeah. So here we have this, then we have this faces, alright, we have this which combines here, then we have this which I'm not exactly what I wanted, so problem is that I wanted to create this loop here. I don't remember how it is done, but that can be very simplified, right? So basically let's just work with the low poly first, looping around the tummy. This will create, yeah, bad triangle. Okay, maybe I'm exaggerating on all that, is not necessary, but you know, topology lovers. I cannot dissolve that. Okay, let's try then. This. Yeah, I need to finish this. Yeah, and we end up here with some difficulty, because here it can't count an extra phase loops for the, well, we could, but this is very risky because this is already the on the pelvis region. What did I did here that worked? Oh, I see what I can do. Alright, instead of there, and maybe merge at last. No, hold on. Okay, why not, right? There we go. So here we can make some, no, don't need anything else. There we go. I was thinking about the nostril, but for this character, low poly, no, it shouldn't be necessary, I think. And we were left with still, yeah, we are, what is this? Oh, it's with the triangles, right? Thing. And sure. So it still have some extra verts to play with if we wanted, but that is already very close to what would be the final output, the final decision here. So I failed to get that phase loop, right? This one, but this might also work, right? Also, you don't have some good phase loop for the scapula, but we can sort of try to mimic from some attempt here, maybe. yeah, so this is the reason why I couldn't give up on continuing here despite the, yeah, sorry folks, the terrible timing, but whoa, that's 2 hours has passed since I've stopped. Oh, okay, so let's just make a last thing here. So I have face loop for this area, then I have here we don't, so I have here, okay, this is fine, here this seems adequate, here we can rework that, and alright, despite there are a lot of things to be improved yet in the shapes, if we get something, let's say yeah, it's not really yeah, a lot of things to work still on the shapes, but for when it comes to the cloth, right, I think there will overlap some problems, so but I'll still be working on the anatomy. I think there's something, yeah, so there are a lot of inconsistencies, right, as you can see, which is a bit too large. But I think this is over for now. I should stop immediately. It's a bit too bulky for the character, the model sheet, right? Alright folks, so that's it for now. Thanks for watching. This was a lot of improvement, and for this particular project I've calculated I need about 15 days to create a rigged model, entire rigged model from start to end, like from model sheet, then modeling, UV texturing, shading, rigging, and rendering, whatever, the final compositing, all this. I need about 15 days to complete. So this will be like this for this one, the first day, the second day maybe, because I'm and I'm not gonna share this process because this is like a day working entirely, right? So it's not like just the streams I'm doing here. So I've calculated that, and it's very interesting for me because I'm sort of still relatively new to CG art, and now I have these notions because I've been doing this over and over again for 3 years, more like rigging and some modeling, but a little bit of everything. And now I know how, I think I can do this professionally, like with a more integrated workflow, and then calculating this, and when you know the techniques what you gonna use more or less, you have done over and over again, you are more comfortable, right? And so it's everything looks clearer, and you stop just let me make that character and start to end, right, without needing to experiment or test new things. You just do whatever you already know. You have a good plan and a good approach to, and a more rigorous pipeline, because you know if this is not fixed now, what will happen later. Then yeah, that's it. Thanks folks, happy blending and have a nice week. Enjoy. See ya next time, another time.